Pokemon gym leaders are intended to be powerful individuals that test your skill as a Pokemon trainer. However, they often fail to meet this expectation and end up being, well, massive pushovers.
This is especially true in the Johto region, which is known for its notoriously weak gym leaders.
Because of this, many YouTubers have proposed ways to strengthen them by improving their team composition and movesets, in order to let them live up to their reputations.
But that's not our style. Instead, we're going to make them worse. Last month, we ruined every gym in Kanto, and now we're back to wreak havoc on Johto by making their gym leaders as pathetic as possible.
Before we begin, let's go over the rules. First, we have to use the same number of Pokemon that each leader originally has, along with their corresponding levels. It would be too easy to just give each leader a level 1 Sunkern, and that wouldn't make much of a video now, would it?
These Pokemon also have to be evolved if they reach the appropriate level. How can you stop a Pokemon from evolving if you don't have a controller to hold B on?
We also have to give each Pokemon the best attacking move of its type that is available at their current level. However, TM and Egg moves will not be considered, as you kind of have to go out of your way to get these.
We're creating a scenario where each gym leader is incompetent. They have no money for TMs, and they don't know the first thing about breeding random animals.
Get out of here, Brock! Finally, we're going to be using the teams from Heart Gold and Soul Silver as our template. So, instead of having a Pidgey and Pidgeotto, Faulkner could have 2 other flying types from generations 1 to 4, which were the only known Pokemon at this time.
Speaking of Faulkner, how about we start there?
Genius. He is the first gym leader of Johto after all.
Faulkner uses a team of his dad's prized bird Pokemon. That's right, he couldn't even be bothered to catch his own Pokemon.
My guy, there are literally Pidgey right outside. You know, this is what happens when a gym is run by nepotism.
His starting Pidgey is now a Hoppip. At level 9, it has absolutely no attacking moves. So it just floats there with a smile on its face while you smack it around like a piñata.
Its only moves are Splash, Tail Whip, and Synthesis. So the only notable thing Hoppip can do is heal itself if you don't knock it out in one hit, just to prolong its own suffering.
Faulkner's ace Pokemon is a level 13 Pidgeotto. How does he have this? Pidgey evolves at level 18. This is an illegal Pokemon.
Well, actually, it belonged to his dad. It's just like a type of inflation. A level 13 20 years ago is the same as a level 18 right now.
That's why I can't buy a house.
Pokemon is why you can't buy a house?
Yes, spent too much time playing.
I have so much memorabilia.
Well, now that Pidgeotto is a Ladybah. It knows Tackle, Supersonic, and Comet Punch. While Supersonic could be annoying if it actually hits, Tackle and Comet Punch are physical moves that work off of a 20 base attack.
So a Comet Punch by Ladybah would really feel more like a light massage than an actual attack.
Ladybah does have a decent special defense stat, but honestly, what could it really do to you as it stalls?
I think Faulkner's dad left him these Pokemon because he didn't want them anymore.
Next up is the gym leader with the most unfortunate name, Bugsy.
His destiny was decided from the moment he was born.
But Mom, I like fire type.
No! Bugs!
It's like having a normal gym leader named Normalina.
Norman?
Okay.
Breaking conventions, Bugsy actually starts with his ace Pokemon, a powerful Scyther, who is now a Shuckle. This thing boasts a massive defense, but literally nothing else.
It has so little HP that it probably only has a few hours left to live, even if we didn't fight it.
And with the speed of 5, you could just walk up and toss it out to the gym window before it even realizes what's happening.
At level 17, Shuckle has Withdraw, Constrict, Encore, and Safeguard. So its only method of fighting back is a 10 power move that works off of its 20 base attack. If you somehow manage to lose against this thing, well, you shucked up.
Bugsy's level 15 Metapod can, well, stay exactly as it is. This is a Pokemon that he chose himself, who is perfectly awful without any need for our intervention.
Normally, Metapod would evolve into Butterfree at level 10, but since we had nothing to do with this Metapod, it exists outside of the rules that we set.
And if any rule sticklers are angry about this and come looking for us, we can just sweep them under a rug.
Bugsy's final Pokemon is now a Ladybah. The only difference from when we fought him on Faulkner's team is that he now knows Safeguard.
Which is ironic, because there's no way this guy is keeping you safe. In fact, he's only 2 levels higher than the last one.
Maybe this is actually the same Ladybah. Faulkner and Bugsy share him because they can't afford to buy Pokeballs after losing so often.
The normal type leader Whitney is notorious for being an actual challenge for Johto trainers with her milk-drinking, rollout-using Miltank.
Well, go ahead and roll out of here. Her Clefairy, which is normal type in Gen 4, is now a Smeargle.
Let me paint a picture for you. Smeargle has 2 moves at level 17, and they are both sketch. This move permanently copies the last move that Smeargle observes in battle, so you can make her waste them on useless moves, leaving Smeargle unable to even use either of its 20 base attacking stats.
It has good speed, but does that really matter if its only moves are like Splash and Helping Hand?
Or better yet, teach it Screech and Metal Sound and giggle at the thought of it keeping Whitney awake all night.
The Miltank that so many trainers have beef with is now a Happiny. Happiny has 5 attack and defense, and 15 special attack. It has the moves Pound, Charm, Copycat, and Refresh, but honestly, nothing it does matters. It's a baby.
It also can't evolve without an Oval Stone, which only half of all Happiny can hold, and we already know Whitney isn't lucky enough to get that because she never wins at the radio tower, so odds aren't good for her.
Honestly, it makes sense that Whitney, a known crybaby, would have a permanent baby as her ace Pokemon.
Our next gym leader is Morty in Ecruteak City. In French, Mort means die, which is fitting for this Ghost-type trainer.
And it'll be even more fitting once we're through with them.
Although there aren't many Ghost-types as of Gen 4, so our options here are kind of limited. I mean, look at Morty's actual team. It's just all the same Pokemon family. The nepotism here may be worse than Faulkner's gym.
Morty starts with a level 21 Ghastly, and you know what? No notes. This is a perfectly bad Pokemon. It only has Lick as an attacking move, completely foregoing its scary special attack for its measly 35 base attack.
Curse into Mean Look could be dangerous, but with defenses like that, could it even survive one hit after Curse halves its HP?
Next up, his Haunter becomes another Ghastly. If he loves this line so much, who am I to take it away from him?
Yeah, that Haunter shouldn't have even been evolved at level 21 anyway. Morty's a dirty, rotten cheater.
His nightmare-inducing Gengar is now a Duskull. It has higher defenses, but awful everything else. And its best move is Shadow Sneak, which has 40 base power. It can also have Leer, Disable, and Foresight.
Which it clearly doesn't use, or else it would have avoided being captured by Morty.
And finally, his level 23 Haunter is now Ghastly. 3rd time's the charm.
It's actually the same Ghastly 3 times. He just keeps using revives when we aren't looking.
Wait, if you use Revive on a ghost Pokemon, wouldn't that just bring them back to life?
Yeah, no, he also kills them to get the ghost back.
Ah, okay, makes sense.
The Fighting Master Chuck is yet another gym leader with a very appropriate name, because that's precisely what we're going to do to his Pokemon.
Into the ocean with you!
Hopefully you can fight the currents!
We initially thought the baby Pokemon Riolu would be a good choice for Chuck. It evolves through friendship during the daytime, but have you seen Cianwood Gym? It's so dark, there's no way to tell what time of day it is in there.
Well, except for the giant hole in the wall we just made from launching his Pokemon into the ocean.
Anyway, we found 2 options for his team that are actually weaker than Riolu.
That's right, 2 fighting Pokemon that are weaker than a baby. His level 29 Primeape is now a Krogunk. With low defenses and an evolution level of 37, this is a perfect opener for Chuck's team. Revenge and Poison Sting are its best stab moves, but we also gave it Taunt because Gym Bros are always talking big, then get astonished when they actually lose.
Chuck's Ace Poliwrath is now a Metatite, which has the worst stats that a fighting type of this level can have.
There's a reason this guy wears a diaper. He's poop.
And there's a reason his head looks like garlic. He stinks.
Force Palm and Confusion are its best stab moves, and it also gets Mind Reader, so we don't even have to say all these insults out loud and feel like jerks.
Its final move is Detect, just to needlessly prolong the battle for one more turn before it gets obliterated.
Chuck just doesn't want to go home. That's why his wife is always waiting outside the gym.
That's why it doesn't have any windows.
He was like, if she's gonna show up every day, I gotta figure out how... The windows!
She just walks in through the hole.
She's like, you are in here, what are you doing?
In Olivine, we have the Steel-type gym leader, Jasmine. I have nothing bad to say about her. I just can't do that. So let's take it out on her team instead.
But first, if you've been enjoying this video so far, make sure to subscribe for more Pokemon nonsense.
We'd really appreciate it.
Her Magnemite is now a Bronzor. Although it's pretty beefy,
This is fine.
it has laughable offensive stats, especially when you factor in that it gets absolutely no steel attacks at this level.
Extra Sensory is a powerful psychic move, but with a base special attack of 24, who is going to sense it? Confusion is a wasted slot because it's significantly weaker than Extrasensory, and then Bronzor can have Tackle and Imprison.
A poor soul, imprisoned within this worthless vessel. Next up, Jasmine has a second Magnemite. It's a shame she didn't have one more to make a Magneton.
Well, now she has 0, because it is now an Aeron, and just 2 levels shy of evolving at that. This little guy is pretty defensive, and has a respectable attack stat, especially since it just learned Iron Head.
How did you just learn that? You were born with that head!
It must work like a baby's. If you press on an Aeron's head before level 29, you can mold it into any shape you want.
It's tinfoil.
Jasmine's menacing Steelix is now Trash Cloak Wormadam.
A worm? A dam.
Its best steel attack at level 35 is Mirror Shot, which makes it worse than Aeron. Not only is Mirror Shot a weaker move than Iron Head, but Wormadam actually has a lower offensive stat than Aeron at 69.
Nice.
No, it's not nice. It is literally trash. Return from whence you came.
Nearing the end of our Pokemon challenge, we have Old Man Price, or should I say, Cold Man Price. You know, because he's an ice trainer.
Yeah, I got it. And yet, despite this, his first Pokemon is a water type. Well, was a water type, because now it's a level 30 Snorunt. This Pokemon evolves at level 42 into Glalie, or by using a Dawnstone at any time into Frostlass.
But Price is an old man who likely has outdated views on gender roles. He probably wouldn't use a female Pokemon.
I don't want these.
In fact, look at his original team, all male.
Snorunt has 50 in all its stats, which is just sad for this point of the game. He can have Ice Fang and Bite as his main attacking moves. I mean, look at those teeth. He's dying to use them.
And die he shall. Once we're through with him, we'll be shipping this guy back to Ekritique for Morty.
Who won't use it, because it's not a Ghastly.
Price's Dugong is now a level 32 Swinub, just 1 level shy of evolving into an actually formidable Piloswine.
Stat-wise, Swinub is actually worse than Snorunt, with a base stat total that is lower by 50 points. That's enough for a whole new stat for Snorunt.
Icy Wind and Mud Bomb are its strongest moves, but play off Swinub's much lower special attack.
It can also have Mud Sport, because who is using electric types in this matchup? And Odor Sleuth, because look at him, you know he be smelling.
Finally, at level 34, Price's ace Pokemon is Delibird. This is a gimmick Pokemon with only one move, Present, which will often act as a 40 base power normal attack, rarely 120, and sometimes even heal you. That's right, you could come out of a fight with Delibird feeling better than when you started.
Even if you do get unlucky and Delibird rolls the 10% chance for a 120 power Present, it's off of a 55 base attack without Stab.
The irony here is that the leader's name is Price, but the gym badge is basically free.
The final leader of the Johto Gym Challenge is Claire, the Dragon Master. And as much as I'd love to bring down her ego by destroying her team, there are just not enough dragons at this point in the series.
But we'll still do our best. Besides itself, Dragon's only weakness as of Gen 4 is the Ice type. So congratulations on having all of them living literally next door.
Replacing her level 38 Gyarados is Dragonair. Its best dragon move is Twister, a 40 base power move that plays off Dragonair's lower special attack. Unfortunately for her, it's just 1 level away from learning the powerful Dragon Rush.
It can also have Wrap, Leer, and Agility, and Thunder Wave can stay far, far away.
Get out of here! Get out of here!
Next up is Shelgon at level 38. Its best move is Dragon Breath, which again, is a special move that uses Shelgon's significantly lower special attack. Leer to reduce an opponent's defense isn't helpful when your attacks are special, and Focus Energy is just a gambling move. And finally, it gets Rage, because look at it. Wouldn't you be angry if you were just a ball with legs?
I mean, what kind of quality of life do we have there?
Claire's third Pokemon was actually hard to choose, but we settled on Altaria. Yeah, if that's the worst we could do, then you know Dragon types are good at this point in the series.
By level 38, its best moves are Dragon Breath and Pluck. Why is everyone breathing on me in here? Thankfully, it doesn't learn Dragon Dance until level 39. It would not be on this list otherwise.
We also gave it Astonish and Peck. This is an all-out attacking Pokemon, like I would have made when I was 8 and 22. Anyway, go nuts with those debuffs and status conditions and bring this bird down.
And for the final Pokemon of the Johto Gym Challenge, we have a level 41 Vibrava. This is by far the worst dragon that Claire could have.
All of its stats are 50, except for attack and speed, which are 70. And its best dragon move is Dragon Breath, which is special.
Not very special if everyone on our team is using it.
I mean, it's probably special to her, that's why it's a repeat.
She just loves the smell. Sticks her head in there like, I'm ready to face the day. Furthermore, Vibrava's best and only ground move is Sand Tomb. Claire is literally digging her own grave with this one. Sonic Boom does a fixed 20 damage, which is negligible at this point of the game. And finally, it has Screech, for when it realizes that it's the last line of defense.
And there you have it. Every gym leader in the Johto games have now been made absolutely worse.
But what about the Kanto leaders? We fight them in the post-game.
Shannon, we already did those. They can't handle another humiliation like that. Thank you for watching, and subscribe for more ridiculous Pokemon videos.